right. And now we are back, Dari. This is game week 2. Talk to me.
Yeah,
How you
back.
feeling?
I'm ready for game week 2. Made one transfer. Took it easy. I didn't go the route as you did with your wild card, which was kind of wild. But I just made one transfer, man.
Yeah, I posted that video earlier about the wild card, and I'm trying to be aggressive. This is not a wild move for me. Me personally, I had certain things I had in mind, a strategy coming into this. For example, like Willian, I told you I was looking at, cheap defenders, and even seeing where certain people were playing. I have an idea of what Manchester United is probably going to look like. Man City, same unpredictable thing. So basically for me, I had an overview of the players I wanted to get. And I was able to get, Willian in the team. I saw that he was playing. He's on set pieces. That's all I needed to see. Phillips, that's my low-key kind of guy. He's on there. Have Martial on there. Aubameyang. I have some heavy hitters. I also wanted to see Jamal Lewis, who I'm a big fan of from Norwich last year. Seeing that he in the starting lineup. Those are things that I wanted to see. Cement Newcastle in there. So I have my wild card in. I know people are hoping for a rainy day to use it. For me, I need all I needed to see, and we'll see how it goes for the rest of the season.
All right. We had similar teams in game week 1. We made the identical number of points, 77. We did that episode. So it's interesting for me to see that you went wildcard. So now we have probably completely different teams.
Seasons, I think we're gonna have
now. Your team is very top heavy. That midfield is stacked. You also have Martial up top. The defense, I see you went with cheap guys, but you had guys like Shaw who should still make points for United. I saw you had Leno.
Yeah.
So that was good. I wasn't too sure about your 2 4.0 defenders because I don't know. I know you had a Leeds defender. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but I think he just played last week because someone else couldn't play. So I'm not sure how.
Cooper was out. Yeah,
I don't know how long he will hold his place. Also, Mitchell for Crystal Palace. I think he's just there until Van Aanholt is back.
Yep.
So those were ones that was a little stood out to me. Kalvin Phillips, I'm not as high on as you are, but the rest of it looks amazing. I think I'm scared of your team, but they have a lot of firepower there.
Man, I did a little extra stuff to the last team I sent to you. I did my final team. I would say there's one guy on Wolves who he came in last week for Neto, and he was attacking a kind of further opposition. Burr.
Is that Podence maybe?
Burr. Oh, Podence.
Burr.
Yeah.
Burr. All right.
With Neto, so with that transfer today, I don't know if that might be more minutes for him, but he's 4.0.
Your midfield is really stacked, man.
Yeah. So I have Bruno in there. I have Auba in there. I have Salah in there. I have Willian in there. And Willian, I was really strong on.
Heavy.
And I'm also strong on Phillips. So these are guys. My team is a team I could hold till December. I check the schedule. And hopefully, I could hold it till the first wildcard time is done. So
heavy. We'll see how it goes. Because like I said, I just did one transfer. I did Nketiah to Callum Wilson. That was good.
I love it.
I kept my week 1 squad, so we'll see how it goes from here on. Let's get into the week 2. Let's get into
week 2. So let's do our must-haves.
First of all, let's acknowledge everybody that Man U and Man City back on the schedule now. Also Villa and Burnley, but we really want to talk about the 2 Manchester clubs. So just for everybody out there, no, we're gonna post this a little late this week, but just in case, pre-deadline, if you want to be like Darius, use your wildcard and get Bruno in. If you want to get KDB and Foden and these guys, it's good to have the Manchester teams back on the schedule now. We don't have much to say about it, but just keep in mind. Do keep in mind when you're using your transfer. Yeah. Bruno could make United has a great fixture. Rashford, Martial has a great fixture against Palace. So just keep in mind that United and City are back on the schedule. Yeah, let's get into the must-haves.
Yeah. So we start in the back. Who's your must-have defender in the back?
So I copied you on this one. Last week, your must-have defender was Kieran Tierney. I'm gonna say he's the must-have this week. Last week I thought Fulham would dent their clean sheet, being a London derby. But this week I'll go with Tierney again. Arsenal have another good game this week. I'm expecting a clean sheet. I think David Luiz is back.
I don't know how that's going to play off.
Yeah, West Ham weren't impressive last week at all.
Yeah, no creativity.
Yeah, they didn't look good. So I think things are sour at that team. David Moyes, I don't know if he's going to turn it around. So I think Tierney could keep a clean sheet. He could also assist. So that's my must-have pick this week.
Yeah. My must-have in the back, and just kind of like looking at it now, I feel like I think Lucas Digne is a must-have. If you could fit him in, I know he's 6. Before the price raise again, because I know he's if he hits again, his price is going to go up. I think Everton is going to keep more clean sheets this year. And from the team I sent you, I actually put Pickford in my goal now because I watched the lineup between Arsenal and Everton, and I think Everton has a better probability of getting more clean sheets in this straight run. West Brom, they have West Brom at home. Lucas Digne, I could see it being a very attacking game.
That's a good fixture here on set pieces.
Yeah, Lucas Digne is my must-have in the back, fellas.
Yeah, I don't have anything bad to say about that pick. Who's your midfielder this week?
In midfield, keeping it real. I have to, Auba, you have to have him in your team this week. Also, to the fact that it's weird because, all right, he is at a 46 ownership, but I feel like a lot of people have transferred him out for KDB, right? A lot of people have made that move. So it's that scenario where he's not over 50-something, and people made a transfer. If he hits and he's your captain, and some people made a transfer to KDB doesn't hit, you might climb high up the ranking. So to me, Auba is a must-have. New contract, at home.
Yeah, this would be a way for him to celebrate that new contract. He could maybe do a hat trick against West Ham. That team, like I said,
on the contract.
They didn't inspire too much confidence. So I mean, Auba is most likely going to be my captain this week.
Right.
I don't see that changing between now and the deadline.
Who's your must-have in midfield?
The midfielder I'm going to is, we just mentioned the 2 Manchester teams are back on the schedule this week. So I'm going to go with the guy who ended the second half of last season on a tear. Right. He was on penalties. He was on everything. He was passing the ball forward almost every time he got it. He has Martial running here. He has Rashford going down the left. He might have Greenwood going down the right. He just has to supply.
Let me get it. Let me guess. Tomane.
Come on, man. Come on. Bruno Fernandes, folks. Must have this guy in your team. I don't know how you plan to do it. You should have had a plan maybe before the season. Right. But 10.5. He's expensive, but he's a must-have. United, I could see them hitting the ground running this week.
Yeah, I mean, if people aren't heavy with a Kane or Vardy up top, I feel like they should have budget in midfield to bring in Bruno. I agree with you. He's a must-have.
You did really well to bring him in your wildcard team. That's one of the main reasons people might use a wildcard in week 2 is to get Bruno in there. He's a good pick. And I'm going to go up top now for my striker. Now, my striker, I have to point someone out to you before I pick my striker. He's also my pick. You know, every week we have a challenge.
Right.
We can pick a player one time in the season.
The suicide challenge.
Thank you. We need to also point out that our guest earlier this week, Hyper Hopper, his pick for week 2 is Mason Greenwood.
All
right. So my must-have striker pick is also my suicide challenge pick for this week. Somebody, Gomzi, told us he had 5 shots on target this week. Richarlison from Everton. Home to West Brom. West Brom look like the team that you want to pick guys against this season. Richarlison is my must-have striker. I know Calvert-Lewin scored, but Richarlison had more shots. Mm-hmm. He just was unable to score, and you gotta have Richarlison in your team this week.
Yeah.
And remember, folks, before I pass it to Darius, remember last week almost all of our picks hit. Don't forget that.
Yep, almost all our picks hit. All must-haves hit. So. I feel it, and if I could have fit him in my team, I would fit him in my team. I just couldn't. My must-have, he was electric. He was electric to end last season. He's just playing with a type of confidence right now. Manchester United, Anthony Martial, 9.0. He's a must-have to fit in your team. I think. I had to juggle between him and Timo Werner, right? And I just said within these next straight amount of runs, Timo's 9.5, Anthony Martial is 9. When I see Timo Werner outscoring Martial in this run of games that he has, I don't know. It might be equal, but Anthony Martial, to me, Crystal Palace is my must-have as a striker at 9.0.
I'm gonna say that it might be hard. You might make it uncomfortable for me to sleep tonight because almost all of our must-haves are in your wildcard team. You have Martial, you have Auba, you have
my foot
Bruno.
Is on gas.
Yeah, it might be hard. I might want to go on wildcard now. We only have a few hours to the deadline, and I might want to wildcard now.
Go to sleep now. You go to sleep. What time is it?
Oh boy, it's 9. It's after 9. Yeah, it's after 9 on the East Coast now. This is a late podcast, guys.
6:22 by me.
We get it to you earlier next week, but yeah, I'm scared of your team now because you have a lot of these must-haves.
Must have.
All right.
Yeah.
So who's your suicide pick this week, by the way?
My suicide pick is Anthony Martial.
Oh, so a double up just like me on our strikers this week. All right. So I'll make a note of that. We'll keep a tally of you.
My suicide pick is Anthony Martial.
You, myself, and our guests. And our guest this week chose Greenwood. Last week, our guests had Salah. The guests are way out in front of us right now, but we're going to catch them. We're going to catch them.
Man, like guests coming on here. Hits are hitting.
Yeah.
Wait, under the radar.
Under the radar pick this week, I have a surprise one for you.
Which is under 5% ownership, everyone.
Yep, and I have a surprise one for you this week. Because under the radar pick, I expect every week to be somebody very cheap, low budget. Somebody nobody is really thinking about, a low budget guy who could come and get you some points. But I did some research today, and there's a big player who made a lot of points last year, scored a lot of goals, and he is not owned by even 5% of teams. Ladies and gentlemen, Raheem Sterling is owned by less than 5% of people. That's a big differential if he's in your team. Get him in there.
I could see him scoring.
If Sterling hits this week, his owners are going to fly up the table because I couldn't believe he's only owned by 4.4%.
Right.
You know, he's costly, but he's under the radar, man.
Right.
What about you?
This time I'm keeping it low budget. No, I do respect that. I do think if Sterling hits, he'll be good. But my under the radar pick is Kalvin Phillips. Yes, not a household name. Kalvin Phillips. So sound like somebody is sweating in Savannah. Kalvin Phillips from Leeds. He was the center of everything for Leeds last year. He got an assist last game, first game out against Liverpool. That game against Fulham, I think he would be in the center of 2-3 goals. I think he could hit over 10 points. And he is ownership of 3.7%. He's in my team. He's staying in my team.
Okay.
He's 5'5".
I don't know his percentage, but I'm surprised you didn't go Jack Harrison instead. But okay.
Jack Harrison. Only thing that I think that Kalvin Phillips at 5 is the best 5.0 you could find in the league right now. I want to go to the best, so I think Kalvin Phillips right now is the best 5.0.
Not to check. Okay.
Not to check. I think 5.5 to me, low-key, best player is Podence from Wolves. I think right now he's going to be hot.
All right.
So I'm on my radar. It's Podence for after that City game. I'm watching Wolves run, but Phillips for me he's staying in my team at 5.0. He is my under the radar player. High hopes. Don't let me down. Kalvin Phillips. Sweating in the Savannah.
So before we wrap it up, let's get your bold prediction for week 2.
My bold prediction for week 2 will be watching the state of the games. My bold prediction, I don't know if you want to call it bold, but I'll go with Everton. I'll go with Everton. I'll go with Everton.
Let me just say before all right. Go ahead. No, I'm just saying before you make this pick, Everton has a pretty easy fix here this week. So I don't know what you're about to say, but it can't be that bold.
It's gonna be bold.
Let's hear.
It's gonna be bold.
Let's hear.
My bold prediction is James Rodriguez over 10 points against West Brom.
It's possible. That's very
specific.
possible.
Specific.
I'll give it to you.
If I could fit over 10 points.
That's very possible. I'm going to go a little bolder. Than you. Last week you said Everton, Tottenham, we'd get 6 goals. We got 1. But I'm going to go for another high score between some good teams this week. Chelsea play Liverpool. 2 top 4 teams. Two Champions League teams meeting in week 2 very early. Timo Werner is there. Liverpool got some new guys. They have Thiago. I think they're getting Jota from Wolves. It's some powerhouses that might be a KG battle, but you know what? Based on the defending I saw Liverpool do last week, based on Brighton creating some chances against Chelsea, I'm going to say this goal is going to have 5 goals in it. I can see a 3-2 scoreline between Chelsea and Liverpool. I'm not going to predict a winner, but a lot of goals.
Leeds and Liverpool had 3-2. So
no, they had 7. That was 4-3.
4-3, sorry. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So this one I'm gonna predict a 3-2. I don't know who's gonna win, but we could see points from Salah, Werner, Havertz. All these guys could. I'm not selling guys from this game. I know sometimes we don't want to play guys and big matchups against you. You might want to sell. He has a tough game, but this week I'm keeping I have Salah, I have Werner, and I'm keeping these guys.
Agreed. I mean, if I had in the back line for Chelsea, I would be a little bit worried.
Yeah. I have Trent, but I'm keeping Trent in there too this week.
And also, I want we have a little bit more time. I just want the listeners to know that I feel like as Peliqueta probably is going to come back in that lineup. So if you have Alonso, keep checking Twitter. Just make sure that Alonso Alonso might not start. But hey, this is the nature of the game. This is the beast. This is what we play. Yeah. Game week 2. Let's get
Game week 2. Just let everybody know again before we go.
Tied at 77.
We see what happens. I'm scared of you, but
no, don't
everybody, we're gonna put this up. I know it's short to the deadline. We do better next week, but look out for the recap next week. We see how we did at FPL guys on Twitter.
Bring on a new guest next week. And if you guys please subscribe on YouTube, just hit the subscribe button right now.
I'm subscribed on Spotify. I'm subscribed on Google.
Right.
We everywhere, man.
We're everywhere.
Give them the Instagram before we go, because we're on Instagram.
FPL Island guys. FPL Island guys. Just type it in.
So,
you'll come up in the little black.
Good luck to everybody in week 2, and we see how we did. We get back to you with the episode shortly.
Darius and his crazy wild card. All right, guys.
All right, everybody. Bless.